Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to show you how to overcome a really hard dapple light by a hard sun. So on a day like today when we've got this beautiful sunshine coming through and it's coming through these leaves, it's creating this dappled effect which isn't the best, particularly if you're shooting with natural light. So I'll show you a shot I just shot with natural light and you can see by this frame the light's all over the place, doesn't look particularly good, and it's very hard to get a decent exposure without using any artificial light. So what I've done in this instance, I'm using a flash. I've brought the ambient light down to a level I can manage. I've then brought the flash in to fill the shadows, so in effect we've got rid of that really hard light. Now this obviously only really matters if we're shooting in a situation where we've got nowhere else to shoot. And in my garden I have got some areas of shade behind camera, but what this does is teaches me how to deal with this if I've got no other alternative. So in this instance I'm using my Godox AD300 Pro with a 95cm length Carter softbox. Now I'm going to talk about this later in the week about light placement, but I've got it about a foot above Noah and it's pointing down at a 45-degree angle. I'm doing that to create some level of shadow under his jawline. The problem being if I have that flat light, it fills its own shadows and we'll lose that definition we get from the really nice light. So that's being my prime position. Now I'm shooting this light on half power, which is enough based on the aperture and the shutter speed I'm shooting at. So I'm shooting this in standard sync speeds, 200th of a second at f10, and that's bringing the exposure down to what you can see on screen now, and then by bringing that flash in at half power is enough to lift those shadows and give us a really nice subtle exposure, but still looks quite natural against what would be a really difficult dappled light. You know, just a little bit of a, shall I tell you a joke? Is that not good? And just turn on your shoulder towards me a bit, so just like you're leaning against the fence, and put the ball in your other hand. And then lean right up against it. So lean right up against the fence on that side, that's it. Go back a touch because you won't be light. That's, and a tiny bit more sun, that's it. Perfect, just like that. And just looking just over the shoulder at me. Perfect. So what you're seeing in this instance, I've still got this really dappled light, but because of this lighting technique, where I've got it at 45 degrees from my usual shooting position, I can move around and shoot it from various different angles, as you've seen on the tutorials I've done over the last week or so. Straight in my edge, straight across towards this fence here, and then straight forward towards that fence, that's it. So by changing my shooting position, like I said, I can go around the clock at 180 degrees with this technique. It changes the way we look at the light. So in this instance, with this angle I'm shooting from, we're now lighting the narrow side of Noah's face, as we say it, which creates a beautiful shadow on the near side of his face, as you can see from this shot. And it gives us this beautiful light and that sort of loop lighting, which is open on this side of the face, which gives a really nice subtle effect. So as you can see, a really simple technique to use if you want to overpower a really strong dappled light or an effect where you've got too much shadow casting into your frame. By bringing down the ambient light and then replacing that with a soft flash, which still looks very natural, we get this beautiful portrait as a finished shot.